I withdrew all the savings I had accumulated over the past 30 years and planned to spend it all in the next 20 days. But the first time I flew, I still couldn't shake my habit of being frugal. The economy class was so cramped, the man in front of me barely moved, and I was pressed so tightly I could hardly breathe. Before I even had a chance to speak, he actually complained first. I know I probably looked pretty ordinary, so the flight attendant instinctively started treating me differently. If this had happened before, I would have just kept my mouth shut and let it slide. But now, I fought back. The head flight attendant sarcastically said, "If you feel cramped, you can upgrade to business class. The space there is much bigger. The first class experience really is different. Private tables, delicious meals, and someone just coming around to pour me wine." For the first time, I truly experienced the joy of being rich. Once I left the airport, I saw how long the taxi lines were. I didn't want to waste my precious time on that. So I rented a helicopter instead. It was my first time on a helicopter, and I was nervous but excited. I couldn't stop laughing the whole way. When I hovered above the five-star hotel, all the rich people below were stunned. Since I hadn't made a reservation, I had no choice but to take the last available presidential suite. Suddenly, I noticed a familiar figure. It was the chairman of the department store I used to work at. He was there, carefree, with his secretary. I'd worked myself to the bone for an entire month, and still couldn't make as much as he spent on just one drink for his secretary. But now, I'm one of the rich too. I knew wealthy people usually tip, but I had no idea how much to give. So, I just grabbed a handful and handed it to the waiter to pick. Thankfully, he was honest and only kept one bill. I leaned back on the couch, looking out at the view. My eyes sparkled, feeling like I was in heaven. I used to live the most ordinary life. In my 32nd and never been in a relationship. Although I worked hard and became the sales champion in my department, my monthly salary was still embarrassingly low. I even tried to ask my boss for a raise, but he always used some insincere excuse to brush me off, making me feel like I just wasn't good enough. I was furious and frustrated, but I had to swallow it just to keep my job. Then one day, I suddenly fainted, and the doctor told me I had several tumors in my brain. What's worse, the insurance company refused to cover the 340,000 yuan for surgery. I tried to argue, but they just threw two thick books of clauses at me, each one legally blocking all my hope. I knew I'd been scammed, but now I didn't even have time to sue them. I just walked out of the hospital, head down, feeling completely lost.